Hey, I'm Antonio Graceffo from Martial Arts Odyssey. We're in Tainan, Taiwan, and we're learning Ziyou Bodji, which is Chinese free fighting. Alright, this is my friend who's a big judo guy, 110 kilos, and we're going to do an exercise. He's got boxing gloves on, I don't. I'm going to try and take him down, and he's going to try and punch me. This way he can work on what he needs to work on, I can work on what I got to work on. Alright, so let's hope he doesn't hurt me. Ziyou Bodji is about the closest thing to mixed martial arts that they have in Chinese culture. And basically, because they don't have real mixed martial arts in the sense that we do in the West, it winds up being a combination of Judo and Tae Kwan Do mostly. That's what most of the guys will have a background in, and then maybe a little karate. And some of them will have had Sanda training, but there's very few Sanda schools left in Taiwan. Sanda is the Chinese kickboxing. Exactly where I don't want to be. Okay? So this school is teaching boxing, and then we got this this judo guy that comes out and trains with us, and a jiu-jitsu guy, a few other guys, and that's kind of how they put it together. It's sort of mix and match. You know, different guys come in with different skill sets and teach what they can and share what they can and learn what they can. Now, one of the problems I have is I'm trying to teach this judo guy to fight. Now, he's an amazing grappler. Certainly compared to me. I mean, you know, he's throwing me all over the place, so he's really good at that. The problem, though, is I don't think he thinks of himself as a fighter. I mean, judo guys are doing a traditional martial art where they compete in Olympics or amateur competitions that have very strict rules, and I don't know that they really think of themselves as fighters. They only fight against other judo guys, for example. And so I'm trying to teach him to fight, and that's a whole other skill set. The other thing is I can't get him to hit me. You know, he's supposed to be, the way this drill works, he's supposed to be pounding me with those gloves and preventing me from taking him down, and instead he's just kind of tapping me with them. Part of it is because he's intimidated, he's afraid, it's a new exercise, he's never done it before. Part of it is Taiwanese people are just extremely polite, and in his mind, he's like, you know, this guy came all the way from America to train with us. I mean, it's not really nice to hit him, you know. So hopefully I'll get him to improve on that. But you see what happens, even with gloves on, when I come in close, he's able to take me down. Now, his conditioning obviously is lacking. He's seriously overweight. And as we move on, I do get a few throws, a few times where I get the better in the throw. And what was really funny was I would see him sucking wind, right? And in a boxing match, if I saw a man sucking wind like that, the first thing I'd do is grab his head and just hang on. I just want to hang on him and wear him out. Obviously, with a judo guy, the last thing I want to do is grab my head and hang on him because he's going to throw me. So that was pretty funny. So it's really interesting for me to have this guy to wrestle with. It reminds me a lot of what Bruce Lee said about Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who was one of his celebrity students, the professional basketball player. And Bruce Lee really enjoyed sparring Kareem because he said that the height and the reach advantage that Kareem had presented him with an interesting problem. So I have that with this guy. He's stocky, he's really strong, he knows how to grapple, and that's really interesting. You know, what can I do? And going for a leg is just absolutely useless because he's just so heavy and big, I can't move his legs. Well, I started to find a little bit of an opening going around behind him. Master Hisham helped me out with this a lot. He showed me how to do an arm submission where I'm laying on the ground on the bottom, he's laying on top of me, and I can submit him. I can bend his arm from that bottom position, so that worked out really well. The other guys in the gym are all a lot smaller, and they don't have the grappling skills or the boxing skills. So they were actually a little better at punching me. They were punching me a little more aggressively, which I appreciated and which I needed for my own training. But then once I grabbed hold of them, it's pretty easy to get them down on the ground. And I know that I'm not a competent grappler, so I mean, I know that anything I'm getting, position, holds, whatever, is mainly just because I'm bigger and stronger, but not because of any skills that I possess. The big muscly kid, I had to keep cautioning him. I said, look, if you hit me like you hit me when we're boxing, he's always trying to take my head off. I go, if you do that to me in this drill, I'm going to kill you. Because I'm not wearing gloves, so I can't hit them back. And I keep wanting to hit them back. That's my my tendency, you know, my feeling. I want to come in, throw a couple of punches, and then go for some type of a shoot or a takedown. And of course, I can't do that. And a couple of times, I almost wanted to kick, but I can't do that. And all I can really do is block, duck, move, and try and take them down. But actually, if I could get them to hit a little more aggressively, which they probably will on the second or third night that we do this, if I get them to hit me more aggressively, this would be actually quite good for my training as well, because teaching pushing me to protect, to cover up, and to get in there in spite of being hit. This kind of wrestling is so exhausting. I think it's a lot more exhausting than boxing in a lot of ways. You're using your whole body, you're using everything, every muscle. Cardio, movement, and a lot of movement. I'm moving probably a lot more than I need to, but that's also because they're punching me and I'm trying to avoid getting hit. The other thing is, the first few guys I grappled with, I forgot to put in my mouthpiece because I was thinking about grappling, so I actually got the inside of my mouth cut up a little bit, chipped one of my teeth, and then later when I grappled the big muscly kid, I put my mouthpiece in. But man, grappling with a mouthpiece in, then you can't really breathe, and it's really hard. And of course the guys are really sweaty, so they're hard to grab, and they're not kicking, because in real fighting, usually when you get the throw, it's off a kick because you caught his kick. So they're not kicking, so I got to either grab an arm, grab their body, or grab a leg. And most of them wear long trunks or pants when they're training, so going for the legs is pretty good. The arms are hard. Grabbing the boxing gloves seemed like cheating to me, so I didn't really want to do it. Interestingly, you're able to get a good grip on their head, so that their head wasn't as slippery, their hair wasn't as slippery as the rest of their body.
These are my two friends. Forward. These are some music. 人好，你是日本武术的，还是Aikido? I think it's Aikido.
Look, we don't have a wrestling trainer, we don't have a BJJ trainer, so this is the best we can do. So we're going to work with it, you know. I keep wrestling these guys every day. Okay, hopefully I'll get a little better, hopefully they'll get better, and then I'll move on to the next school, in the next country, the next place where hopefully there's a competent grappling teacher and he can help me. And I'm hoping somebody wanders into this gym who could help teach these guys.
I'm Antonio Graceffo. That's it for this episode of Martial Arts Odyssey from Thailand, Taiwan, where we're learning Ziyou Bodji. As always, get in the gym, do your sets, do your reps, do your road work, but please say a prayer for the people of Shan State.
One, two, 3, 4.